I run a software development company remotely. I've been doing it about, 3 or so years. It's not a very big company, and we do in the kind of low five figures. We do about 20 odd grand a month, and I'm well aware it's a pretty small business, but it gives me a pretty good quality of life. But I think one of the biggest constraints to me growing this business has generally been um, that I haven't worked in high enough volume on the right things. One of the reasons being that, I mean, I bootstrapped this business myself with no cash up front. And so I was stuck in fulfillment for a long time because obviously I offer development services. And so I used to fulfill a lot of the stuff myself. And I'd fulfill stuff because it was easier and more familiar to me than the business development function. So I'd often procrastinate marketing activities. And, that was a big reason why we didn't grow. Um, and I made that mistake, and so one of my big goals next year is to spend 1,000 hours on marketing, and ideally more. Um, and yeah, one of my big issues is daily productivity and things like that. And so one of the things that I was thinking about today is what I'm going to start doing is essentially putting down every day a simple thing, which is the number of hours that I spend marketing, a score from 1 to 5 on like how aligned were my actions with with my goals. What was the amount of output? So maybe the alignment was low, but I got a lot of tasks done. Sometimes it's logistical tasks, life things, and then also I would put enjoyment on there, just because I think enjoyment is and not enjoyment, I'd say satisfaction. It's not like fulfillment. It's something between a level of happiness, but also this like feeling satiated with your work. I think is really important, because in the long run, if you reach the end of every day and you hate your life, you're probably not going to be able to do that for a prolonged period of time. And if there's one thing this business has taught me, is that I need a lot of patience. Being 3 years in and still only doing like 20 odd thousand a month is uh, deeply humbling. But I'm 20 years old. I started this business when I was 17, and I was a moron, and I still am. That's the reason why it hasn't grown any faster. It was, I spent the time doing the wrong things. I procrastinated because a lot of the actions were unfamiliar, whatever. So, it's a result of my actions, nothing else. But anyway, I'm getting a bit sidetracked. But anyway, I'm running this experiment, and um, I'm going to analyze. So basically, I just want to track my days. There's no requirement, because I think if I start adding requirements, let's say I need a minimum of, a score of 2 on alignment, or 3 hours marketing, whatever it is, the problem is I'm very quickly going to start failing on those requirements. I'm very careful about what I set as a minimum requirement on a daily basis. I already have these videos. I don't want to do anything else. I just want to track the data. And with that data, I think I will be able to better understand what makes for a good day, what makes for a shit day. What days do I feel most satiated and most productive? Um, and then I can rinse and repeat and just replicate a formula. And I can identify what are the most common traits of the best days that I have. And I can just do loads of those. Because like, if I feel satiated and if I get stuff done, man, there's nothing better. Like, yeah, I think that's really the goal that anybody would want, is like to ultimately have days on end where they feel very satiated with their work. And it's not to say, um, you don't have exceptions, but yeah, that's something that I'm working on at the minute. Also, if you've made it this far into the video, I think, you know, this is a little bit of a sidetrack thing. Um, but sometimes I feel very impatient, especially with the video stuff sometimes, and I feel like I want to give more um, tactical things, or I want to grow the channel faster, whatever. But a big part of like I'm trying to document the things that I am doing, that I am thinking. And during the documenting phase, honestly, a lot of people don't care. Like, that's the truth. If you document something, I mean, if you can make it really exciting, and if you can take people along, like if you can tell good stories, you can definitely bring a lot of people with you, right? But storytelling in and of itself is a skill. If you can make people feel like they're watching a TV show, I think there's a lot of merit in that. But that requires an ability to tell a story. It's a different level of things. But you can document at a very base level and just, I mean, that's what I've tried to do, especially in the small updates and things. I just talk about what's going on, and nobody really watches those, which makes sense if you think about it, because, I mean, I'm not that interesting right now. I have learned some things, and I share the things that I have learned. I mean, 3 years hasn't taught me nothing. I definitely have some lessons, and so what I realize is like those people, somewhat pay attention to, but um, unless you are very interesting as a person, nobody cares about you documenting things, and that's okay. It doesn't renege on the value of the documenting that you're doing in the first place. And it's something that I think I really came to terms with, because I started this in January this year, and I started recording every day. And I thought it was like, it's become a really cool project because I want to see how far I can take this thing. Like, how far can I really push it? Um, like, can I document all of my 20s on a daily basis? That's pretty insane. And I'm in business, and I, plan on building a pretty big company. So, like, documenting that on a daily basis from when I started this channel, I was doing something around 10 odd thousand a month regular. I mean, my business is up and down. It's feast and famine, but the business has grown this year. That's the point. Um, so documenting from the time that I was just reaching 5 figures a month, all the way through to 7, 8, 9, whatever. Um, I don't know. It's a really cool project, but while I haven't reached the end goal, people don't care. But the problem is, the day that I reach it, you know the prep work that I did, which is let's call it 2 years of recording on a daily basis, that then becomes relevant. You cannot, like, nobody cares about what you're documenting until you make something interesting happen, and then everybody cares about the documenting you did, and it's really cool, right? But if unless you do the interesting thing, the documenting isn't useful. But if you don't document and then you do the interesting thing, you're missing out on a ton of like potential value that you could have created. At least this is my belief. I think it's extremely, I don't know. I'm in some way, I think I've grown a fascination with this project myself. Like, I think it's really a project that I have, like, as I've started to accept this, it's like, if the nature of what I'm doing is documenting a journey there, then I can't expect all the results now. Like, it's all right that I'm at 10,000 subscribers now, and but the value of these videos grows over time. The further along I go in my journey, the more valuable the earlier videos, which is a really interesting thing. Um, and it also, I don't know, resets and gives me patience, like something that I struggle with immensely. I'm impatient in so many ways. Um, and my impatience has cost me so much. My impatience has cost me like so many mistakes. Yeah. So anyway, my plan at the minute is I'm going to, well, yeah, I'm going to record about my day, as in add a little log to my table, experiment thing, and then I'm going to go to sleep. That's it. Today was incredibly unproductive, which frustrates me a little bit. Doesn't make me feel satiated. Makes me feel, if anything, yeah, pretty frustrated with my day. So I want to avoid these days, and I want to identify what are the common traits in the days that I feel most like annoyed or fucked up, whatever. I think it's a cool experiment. In any case, I'm going to leave it at that. If you've made it this far, thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means to me. I hope you got something out of it. Comment if you have any questions. I record every day, so I try and answer those comments. Sometimes I don't read them, but I try. I do my best, but I get a fair few. So, yeah. But I'm gonna leave it at that for today.